Welcome back to part 2 of our unit circle. We're going to real quick summarize what we've talked about real briefly, give some cool facts about our unit circle, and then how we're going to use it. So far, we went through and we did our angle rotations, and we converted our angles into radians. So we also plotted the point as it travels around the circle, at what value that point is at. The cool thing about this is since our radius is 1 unit, this is telling me that the sine of any of these angles is my y value. So the sine of 60 degrees, so the sine of 60 is the root 3 over 2. The sine of 225 is negative root 2 over 2. The y value on our unit circle is our sine ratio. Also, we know that the cosine of theta is given by the x value. So the cosine of 360 is 1. The cosine of 5 pi over 3 is 1/2. We know our sine and cosine values. So what we don't have listed is our tangent. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build that right now. If we look at this triangle at my 30 degrees, tangent is going to be built by opposite over adjacent, which is y over x. So I'm going to put that here. The tangent of theta is y over x. So we're going to build that ratio. So I'm going to take y, put it over x. So I'll do that here. 1/2 divided by root 3 over 2. If we're multiplying fractions, or dividing fractions, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So my 2's reduce, 1 over root 3, and that rationalizes to root 3 over 3. So the tangent of 30 degrees is root 3 over 3. And over here, it's going to be negative. Here, it's going to be positive. And here, it's going to be negative. Okay. The tangent of 45 is pretty easy. Y over x, root 2 over 2 divided by root 2 over 2 is 1. Negative 1, 1, and negative 1. Okay, and our 60 degrees, I'm going to take, can you see this? Yep. Root 3 over 2 divided by 1/2, multiply by the reciprocal, and I get root 3. So this is negative root 3, positive root 3, negative root 3. Okay, and here, 0 divided by 1, that is 0. 1 divided by 0, that is undefined. 0 divided by 1 is 0. And negative 1 divided by 0 is undefined. So now we know all of our trig ratios. So how we're going to use this is we're going to find those coterminal angles. Okay? So I could ask, what is the sine of 7 pi over 6? Well, my reference angle here is pi over 6. So the sine of pi over 6 is 1/2. 7 pi over 6 is slightly larger than pi. That's this one, which tells me sine has to be negative. Because I'm in the third quadrant, sine is negative, but I use that reference angle of pi over 6. So the cosine of 5 pi over 3. The cosine of pi over 3, well, that's going to give me 1/2. And again, I can see that here. 5 pi over 3, that puts me in the fourth quadrant where cosine is positive. So that's my answer. So now we can use the unit circle as long as we know the first quadrant, and I need you to know the axes as well. You know the entire unit circle as long as you're using your reference angles. Okay? Hope that helps. Put this up. Make sure you're practicing. Memorize, memorize, memorize. Do not memorize this whole thing. Know this first quadrant and know your reference angles. Okay? Good luck.